Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lost World Jurassic Park commentary track. I'm here with Tab. What's up, man?
Hey, Tony. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Host of Here's What I Don't Get, the podcast, which you were an illustrious guest on.
Yes.
Just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, great episode, great podcast, and now you're here watching the worst Jurassic Park movie, I think.
I have to agree with you.
Yeah. This seems like a movie that no one really wanted to do. Like, this doesn't seem like anyone really wanted to make this movie. And I think that...
And not only did they not want to make this movie, but they didn't, like, it just, everything's thrown together. It's like no one wanted to make it, no one really wanted to watch it, and yet somehow we still got Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, well, Jurassic Park 3 is a whole different story, but I can see people wanting this because of how big the first one was, but I don't think
anybody was asking for this.
Yeah. And then here's one
Jurassic Park 1, that's a pretty closed story.
Yeah, you don't really need a sequel to that movie, and I don't know why they keep pumping them out. This is one of the many examples of something from the first book being recycled for the movie. This is kind of how the first book opens up.
I don't think they really recycle much for this one, but they do start to recycle things that they left out of the movies for the third movie.
Yeah, but this is big because this is how the first book kind of opens up, with a little girl being attacked by one of the compies.
Procompsognathids.
Yes, but in the movie, it's just regular Compsognathids. I can never pronounce that.
You listened to the audiobook, right?
Yes. And
in the audiobook, they love saying that the name of that dinosaur over and over again.
The audiobook's so quaint. By the way, we're recording these out of order, so if I mentioned something that I mentioned in the previous commentary, my bad. But the guy doing like the audiobook, like this is when computers were still like new, and he says modem so weird. He calls it a modem.
Yeah.
He's like, there's so many modems. I'm like, why is he saying that so weird?
Yeah, this is like a really, they really had a lot of confidence in what computers were going to be able to do in the 80s when the book was written, and in the 90s when these movies were made. Yeah. And even now, like, computers are just kind of a big disappointment.
This effect, there are some pretty decent effects in this movie, though. Like, some of the CGI is pretty top notch. More so than the first one. That is
something I will give. Like this is a little robot.
Yeah.
And in Jurassic World, like, a lot of the dinosaurs look fake.
Yeah.
Because they're all digital.
I don't know why.
It's really weird how the Terminator movies are the same way.
Yeah.
Where the early movies look really, really good because they did everything for real. And then they started, like, doing more and more and more CGI, and it just looks terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I get there's stuff you have to do in CGI, but, like, they were just way too confident. Like, Jurassic World, the effects don't start looking good until the movie gets dark. Because, you know, CGI looks better in the dark, but I don't know why they went full on everything in the daytime for that movie. Apparently,
that movie would have been way better if they had done it all at night. Because the Jurassic Park, both of these movies have a lot of night shooting.
Yeah.
And it adds a lot of suspense.
Yeah. And here's everyone's favorite part from the movie. I think this is like the part that everyone remembers the most from this movie, is this little scene here.
I love that editing transition.
Yeah, and here's Jeff Goldblum. I guess maybe he was excited to come back, but his character, I don't know. So the whole thing is Ian Malcolm dies in the book, like straight up dies.
Yeah, he's straight up dead. And then the second book, they're just like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, because I think the studio, like, they wanted Michael Crichton to write another book because they thought that would help sell tickets, apparently. And, like, I think that was like a request that Ian Malcolm had to be alive because they wanted to make him the main character. So, like, right away, the book is being written by a guy who's, like, having to make compromises and shit.
You know, it makes sense in a movie to, like, to maybe bring someone back because, you know, for instance, if you're doing this The Lost World Jurassic Park and you want back Dr. Grant.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, I'm not doing another one of these movies. You're like, well, I guess we could say Ian Malcolm wasn't really dead and bring him back to life to do the second movie. That makes sense in a movie because there's business. But in books, it's like, why bring him back?
I know. And granted, they kept him alive in the first movie, but I don't know. Like, he's real charming. He's real fun in the first movie, and here he's just kind of a downer.
He's real mean.
Yeah, and you know
he's
what?
Real negative and mean.
I'll give him this. He's the only character that makes any kind of fucking sense in this whole fucking movie.
That's really true, because he's got no want to go back to the island. I think that's kind of makes this movie and the third movie a lot more interesting in that the main character has no interest in being there with the dinosaurs. They're just kind of like making the best out of a bad situation.
Well, like in Jurassic Park 3, you see Dr. Grant, he kind of is interested to see dinosaurs again, even though he won't admit it. But here, like, Ian Malcolm, he just wants to get his girlfriend off the island. He just wants to keep his daughter safe. He does not care about anything else. Like, he doesn't even really try to stop the bad guys from doing anything. He just tells them it's a bad idea. He doesn't participate in
Vince
any
Vaughn
of that.
is the one who's there to stop the bad guys.
Oh my God, he sucks. And then here's an obligatory...
Are these kids? These are the same kids.
Yep. By the way, the butler that was just there is Mr. Pitt from Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld. What a guy.
But yeah, Jeff Goldblum, he's just not the same in this movie. He's not fun. He's still wearing the black leather though.
I think that in the first one he's kind of coming off of the high of playing these, because like in The Fly he plays Seth Brundle, who's like this rock star scientist, and he's been playing a bunch of these roles, and he's just like, God, I'm so fucking sick of being the rock star scientist. I want to be the Grandmaster in a Marvel movie.
He was great as Grandmaster. This shot here has always bothered me. It's all in one take, but it's not like cool.
And not really for a good reason.
No, you could tell they were just like, look, we got a lot of dialogue. Can you guys just memorize it? We can get this done in we'll do a couple takes and we'll just call it a day. Like, there's reports where like Steven Spielberg, I think in interviews has said that his like heart just wasn't in it in this movie. Like he was like midway through production, he just stopped caring. And I feel like scenes like this really highlight that. Yeah.
I mean, look at the light, like the lighting of the hallway. None of this is really prepped the way.
Yeah. This is the first, I think Janusz Kaminski, his like current cinematographer, did this one.
Yeah.
The one who did it before was, what's his name? He's like one of the greatest cinematographers of all time, and I can't remember his goddamn name. Dean Cundy. This is the kind of movie watcher I am. I've always got the movie up. If I've seen it a couple of times, unless it's a really bad movie, I got the movie up on one screen, and then on my phone, I've got IMDb up, and I'm reading the trivia. Oh yeah, that's me all the time.
Yeah, I love the trivia about the movie almost more than the movie.
Yeah. You know what I love about Amazon? When you scroll your mouse...
This X-ray feature where it gives you the trivia that's like relevant to the scene you're watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty... And it also gives you like, who's the guy on screen?
Yeah, I
love that. Yeah, you're like, man, who is that guy? I really recognize him. And then you just kind of mouse over and, oh, there he is. This is Sir Richard Attenborough. He was in The Great Escape.
Yeah. All right, here's what I hate. I hate the whole concept of Site B. Like I understand in the book they needed an island with dinosaurs, and the first book blew up that island. So I get that like Michael Crichton had to come up with another island, but I hate the idea that they're like, yeah, we made the dinosaurs on this island and moved them. But the first book and the first movie takes so much time showing you how the park works, how the eggs are made. It's like, bullshit, there was a second island. There's no second fucking island.
Well, I mean, to be fair, at the beginning of Jurassic Park, they've got that whole big, the Velociraptor crate that they're loading.
Yeah.
I mean, feasibly, maybe those Velociraptors were raised on another island and then bust in.
Maybe, but like...
Who knows?
But you see like the eggs hatching there. Nothing in that movie suggests, or book suggests, that there was another island where they're raised. And again, I get it. In the book sequel, Michael just needed a new island, so he came up with that idea. But in the movie,
because at the end of the first book, they like firebomb the whole island, and they destroy. There's like a whole after they get back to the visitor center, there's a whole subplot of them going into the volcanic caves to find the raptor nests.
Yeah.
And there's a boat. There's like the ticking clock of the boat with the raptors on it headed to shore, and getting. They need to get radio contact back so they can tell the boat to turn around.
Wait, real quick. Look at Hammond's desk. He's got a picture of his kids, but it's clearly from the first Jurassic Park movie.
Oh God, I fucking hate that. I hate that in films.
Oh
when
man,
they can't
do it all the time. They do it.
Take
all the
another fucking photo.
Like, did you think when did Dr. Grant stop to take a picture of that? Before or after the T-Rex battle?
All right, kids, now get together. You know, you just almost got killed by dinosaurs. All right, we're gonna capture this, the Polaroid moment.
So yeah, the SKYPE thing, I don't really like it. They could have, for the movie, they could have just went back to Nublar. Like, that would have been
Here's
a little
the problem
bit more
with
interesting.
them going back to Nublar.
Yeah.
There's no way for the start of the movie to start with the girl getting attacked by the dinosaurs, because that island is like a no approach zone. Yeah,
but I guess Isla Sorna should be a restricted area too.
Yeah, but they didn't tell anybody that.
That's true. I don't know. I feel like you could have made it work more than this whole Site B thing. Or just say, like, some of the dinosaurs escaped to another island. Pff, whatever. I would have went with it. I don't know. It's always bothered me. And it's like this real desperate, like, plot device. It just always bothers me. Also,
it's almost like an 80s movie where they just be like, all right, here's a little bit of story so that we can just get to the action.
Yeah. But then the movie...
Like Kickboxer.
This movie just doesn't get to the action, though. It takes forever for something really exciting to happen in this movie.
Are you telling me that the fight between Stegosauruses while whatever Sarah Harding is hiding in logs isn't thrilling?
Maybe if it went on a little bit longer, but no, it's not thrilling. Ugh. And like, there's so much exposition. Like, there was the big exposition scene before this. Ugh. And then we're gonna get more exposition about fucking the equipment and his daughter.
Yeah,
I don't know. The first.
Yeah, there is. This is a really top-heavy movie.
And I don't know why. Like, the first Jurassic Park flowed so well. Like, even, like, the scenes setting up, like, the music kept you engaged, the characters were interesting.
They literally put you in a ride to give you all the exposition you need. Here's how we make dinosaurs.
Yeah, which was smart. It was smart. But it's just like, come on. I remember being in the theater, and granted, when I was, like, 7 or 8, I thought this was the greatest movie ever made because it had 2 T-Rexes, 3 if you count the kid. That was my scale. How many T-Rexes are in this movie? Oh, 3? Well, that's the best one, obviously.
A friend of mine was dating this guy, and his favorite Jurassic Park movie was The Lost World, and I was like, yeah, he sounds like bad news.
Oh, dude, I'll get to that in a second, but. Yeah, I remember being in the theater and being kind of bored during the beginning of this. Like, where are the dinosaurs? But yeah, my friends give me shit all the time. They think that I love Jurassic Park 3, and like I always just say I think it's just a better sequel because it's more entertaining. Like, I don't think there's any great sequel. I don't know. I guess Jurassic World maybe for me is the best sequel, but that's not saying much at all.
But I like Jurassic Park 3 more than Jurassic World.
I can see that. It's definitely Jurassic Park 3 is a fun time. Like, there's really no point to that movie, but it's just a fun scene. Like, it's scene after scene, something's happening. I think. Yeah,
there's the big plot hole of the Spinosaurus in that there's no reason why we wouldn't see the Spinosaurus in this movie.
Don't worry. There's 10,000 YouTube videos that will explain why.
Here's the things you missed in when there's red circles and arrows.
I mean, it is a big island. I don't know. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so my friends, because I told them like I don't like this one. To be fair, though, I'll watch it all the time though because I'm an idiot. But I'm just
because at the end of the day, it's still a Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah, there's still dinosaurs. Like I said, there's 2 T-Rexes. I don't know if I mentioned that. But no, they're like, oh man, you love Jurassic Park 3. I'm like, no, I don't love it. It's just better. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys.
It's like, this sweater is better than other sweaters.
Yeah. I like this, the original Jurassic Park theme playing for no goddamn reason.
Yeah, nothing exciting's happening. Just like, here's this old man.
Yeah.
walking with a file, and now he's happy.
Now, if it were to like cut to this, to them like on the boat, like maybe, but then it's just, oh, here's another boring scene setting everything up. It's like, oh, why did you play the Jurassic Park theme?
This RV has been restored completely.
Oh, they did?
I don't know if they're finished, but they're working on it. Cool. It was sold at auction it was sold on eBay, where it got, after this movie, it just got parked in the middle of fucking nowhere and left to rot.
Oh, by the way,
fortunately, some concerned fans found it and are restoring it back to its former glory.
That's awesome. By the way, Tab, I don't know if you noticed, but all these vehicles are made by Mercedes. This is the first Jurassic Park movie, but not the last Jurassic Park movie to have a Mercedes tie-in. So you're going to see a lot of that Mercedes
logo. Look at this
logo.
hat. This fucking newsboy hat on Vince Vaughn.
This is when he thought he was going to be an action guy, and it just didn't pan out that way.
No, it really didn't.
His character's pretty terrible. No, but the vehicles in this movie, like the ones the mercenaries have, and these, you could tell like the toy line from the first movie really affected this film, because all the vehicles in this movie look like something that would be part of a toy line and not in the actual movie. Yeah. Like if you
the toys for Jurassic Park were incredible. Like all of them. Even the new ones. Like I'm at Target or whatever, walking around, and I see the Jurassic Park aisle with like the Jeeps and the like cool capture things, and I'm like, man. Like now they have dinosaurs where if you touch them, so like when we were kids, the dinosaurs all had like gashes out of the side of them. Yep. Right? Yep. Like they were fighting. Yeah. And now their gashes are covered, but when you touch them, they like flip and show a gash, so you can like have your dinosaurs fight and get damage. It's really cool. I have a friend, SEO Toy Review. He's a big toy reviewing channel. I just reviewed a shit ton of the Fallen Kingdom toys with him, and they are pretty fucking awesome. But the first Jurassic Park, I had the Jeep toy, which came with like a crane and like a missile launcher in it. And you're like, when you play with it, you're like, this wasn't in the movie. They just added this to the toy. This movie has the fucking toys in it. Like there's vehicles in here with like the cranes, and the seats come out like a toy. It's so weird. There's literally the concept art that the artist drew. They just put it in the movie. I know. Like why would the concept art be there? And on a little easel. Like so I work in theater. Yeah. And when there's concept art and shit like that, like draft, like front views and stuff and sketches, they're usually just pinned to the bulletin board. Like, okay, this is kind of what we're building. Yeah. But it's never on display like it's a piece of art. And it's so far away from like the RV too. Like you have to keep running up the stairs to see if you got it right. Oh, hold on. Let me get my concept art. Is this what the? Hold on. Angle the trailer off the back. Yeah, it looks like we're really nailing it. All right, back to work, everybody. But I think I had a friend who owned the RV toy, and that thing was fucking awesome. Oh man, that's so cool. I had it was a T-Rex, and I think there was like a man in a cage, and the T-Rex could eat him. That was the bull T-Rex. Do you remember that toy? Yep. I had the thrashing T-Rex, the green one. I still have it. The one that when you pushed on a button, it would like roar? No. The green one is when you wiggled the tail, his head would wiggle. The bull T-Rex is the big like red one that you would put the guy in the thing and he would eat it. Yeah. I remember I wanted that one. I didn't get that one, but I just restored. Not in the movie. What was that? I didn't hear you say. What did you say? I said that's another thing that just wasn't in the movie. Oh yeah, a man getting eaten by a T-Rex inside a cage. Now that would have been fucking great. Are you kidding me? That would have been awesome. I just restored my the Red Rex from the first toy line because they're famous for the arms breaking. And I found a guy who fucking he sculpts and recreates the arms for it. I made a big thing about it. I did a whole video celebrating it. I'm like, finally, 25 years later, I'm fixing this goddamn thing. So another thing about the book was the book had two kids. Oh, really? Yeah, the book. So the book of this movie, there was the daughter whose name I don't remember, and then there was the Five Deaths, the Los Cinco Muertes. Yep. So there's another kid, Arby or something like that, Kirby, but he's like a computer kid. And so he ends up hacking into the system's computer system, the island's computer system.
Okay.
And using the cameras to like track the hunters and stuff.
Oh, okay. Wait,
Arby,
so
I think his name was Arby.
Are they both Malcolm's kids or the separate kids?
There were two. They were like school kids, like school friends. They worked for Dr. Levine, who had gone to the island ahead of time.
So they're not even related.
Because the whole
to
thing was
Malcolm.
about them rescuing Dr. Levine.
Right. And actually, the book is about the rival company Biosyn going to the island to try to get the dinosaurs.
Yeah,
that seems like a little bit cooler than just InGen trying to get their own dinosaurs.
So I have an idea for a sequel to Jurassic Park.
Let's hear it.
That's set right after the events of Jurassic Park, and it's about a team so Dodgson works for Biosyn in the first movie, right?
Yeah.
It's a team of commandos that get dispatched to Isla Sorna because the Barbasol can has 36 hours of coolant in it.
Yeah.
Before it'll run out.
Mm-hmm.
So they hear about the destruction of the island and all that.
Yeah.
And they dispatch a team of commandos who have like 18 hours to get to the island, find the can, and get out. And so those commandos from Biosyn land on the island and then just get eaten one by one.
They kind of did that with the video game. Have you ever played that one?
Oh yeah, that's right. You told me about that.
Yeah. It was about getting the can.
When I was a kid, I thought that the Barbasol can getting buried in mud was like foreshadowing of something, and it totally wasn't.
My mom said that all the time. She was like, "They got to get back to that can," but like when you watch it when you're older, like I caught on that there is like a time limit on it. So I think that scene looming on the can is just supposed to be like, look at this. He died for nothing. His greed was the end of him. But the way it's filmed, you think the way it's filmed, because Spielberg's good at like setup and payoff. Not in this movie, but he's usually good at setup and payoff. You think it's gonna like come back at some point, but then it never does. Also, I hate this. They just went to the fucking like California redwoods to film this. It doesn't look like a tropical island at all.
Oh, you mean we're going to film on location, but I can still just drive 2 hours home every night? Yeah. I'll go ahead and do this movie.
Spielberg's like, I don't want to be in Hawaii all the time. Can we just do it on the soundstage and maybe just go to the fucking redwoods? I think that was Lucas's reasoning for having Return of the Jedi in the redwoods.
Yeah.
It's like, man, we got to really cut down on the budget. Let's cut down on travel. Let's just go to the fucking redwoods.
Oh, hey, look, here's some digital dinosaurs.
Yeah. And these actually don't look too bad. They're still a little smooth and a little rubbery.
They don't have weight.
Yeah. And they're not like perfectly textured. Even the Brachiosaurus in the first movie is a little bit dated, but it's used sparingly enough where like it doesn't bother you too much. That
shot and the shot when they do full body shots of the raptors in the kitchen, those are probably the two worst visual effects shots of the first movie.
The Brachiosaurus and the raptors.
Yeah, the raptors in the kitchen when they're showing them, because most of the time it's the models, but then sometimes they'll show them just like freestanding and it'll be a real wide angle,
and sometimes
that's when they don't look very good.
Their color kind of changes too throughout that scene.
Yeah, when they do the model versus the digital.
But like I said, it's used sparingly enough so it doesn't really bother you. It's not like movies today when that happens.
Standing right there.
Yeah. I fucking hate Sarah Harding. And her father was in the first movie. We learned that because of the game, and I think the book mentions it too.
Who's her father in the first movie?
Her father is Jerry Harding, the guy who's like in the book he's with the Stegosaurus. In the movie, he's the
the mustache man.
Yeah.
The guy who's looking after the Triceratops.
Yeah, I actually had a trading card with him. I think I still have it somewhere. It was such a weird character. By the way, that guy, if I mentioned this in the previous commentary, sorry. Do you know what this guy is doing right now? The guy who played Jerry Harding?
He's in a blues band.
No. He was a longtime producer for Spielberg. These days, he produces anti-democratic documentaries directed by Dinesh D'Souza, who's a convicted felon
good.
who was pardoned by Donald Trump. He's been producing all those movies, and then this year he's returning to prehistoric stuff. He's producing The Meg with Jason Statham.
He's producing what with Jason Statham?
The Meg. It's a movie where Jason Statham has to fight a megalodon. So this
I saw like a cardboard cutout for that in the movie theater today.
So this dude went from like producing Spielberg movies to producing like fucking propaganda films, and now he's producing Statham versus Shark.
Those are patriotic films, Tony. You need to back the fuck off with propaganda.
Directed by a man who had to be pardoned by Donald Trump.
You know what? Good. Donald Trump has the authority to pardon anyone he wants, and I know that because he tweeted it.
Yeah,
Thank
I know
you.
that.
Thank you, sir.
You didn't think Donald Trump would show up in this commentary, but he did. Dude, I was fucking dying when because I'm writing a review for the game, and in the game Jerry Hardin looks so different. I'm like, so I went down the rabbit hole. I'm like, oh, who played him in that movie? And I was like, wait, what the fuck?
These dinosaurs, they're bad. They're bad news. We destroy them.
Let's see. She has a Nikon. He has a JVC. I love like technology in movies from like the 70s and early 2000s because it was all product placement. I
don't necessarily care about the technology that they're using.
Yeah.
I love the implications of the technology. So like in Short Circuit 2, he gives out what his specs are, and he's like, I've got 32 gigabytes of storage. And like, oh, 32 gigabytes of storage. That's enough to store everything forever in 1987.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess it could back then.
Yeah. And it's funny because I like that stuff because then I look at like the technology that I have with me at the time, and it's like, oh, I have more powerful computer in my watch than Short Circuit is as a robot. Why don't we have robots that can kill everything?
I kind of hate this animatronic. Like, I love Stan Winston stuff, but this one you can tell it's just they only animated the head basically. It's just real noticeable. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, this is why you should have shot on digital, Sarah.
Yeah. Oh, we missed that joke earlier. There was actually a really decent joke earlier where
is it in this movie? Is it in the I think it's in the book. They talk about Sarah Harding and how so this scene looks fucking terrible.
Yeah, but again, it's a quick shot.
They should have cut this from the movie.
This is that mid 90s, just a little too confident in CGI. But no, we missed that joke earlier. I don't remember if they
explained it when they're talking about her in this movie or if it's just in the book, but they describe her as like having camped and shot in all kinds of extreme animal zones and knowing all the things you're supposed to know, like burying your poop and always camping downwind and yada, yada, yada. And then she makes the dumb fuck decision to leave some candy bars out in the open.
And then she walks around she walks around with the Rex blood on her. She does the opposite of everything she says. But no, I like the scene earlier where Vince Vaughn is like, Sarah Harding. And then Ian Malcolm's like, how many Sarahs do you think are on this island?
That is a good joke.
Yeah, and they do a callback to it later in the movie. But here you go. Here's your giant redwoods. That's something that you'd see in, I don't know, an island off the coast of Costa Rica.
But to be fair, Tony, this is a different island.
That's true.
This is like 3 or 4 miles away from Isla Sorna. The climate zone can change drastically over 3 or 4 miles.
Exactly. And then in Jurassic Park 3, it looks like a completely different jungle again.
Yeah. It's like a pine forest.
Yeah.
In Georgia.
Oh my god. I think Eddie Carr, the tech guy, I think he's the only likable person in this group.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
He's just
I love his technology. Like his cars are cool. In the book, they have electric motorcycles that like clip onto the back of the cars.
Right.
And they don't have them in the movie.
Right, and then I think the motorcycle stuff from there was purposed for Jurassic World. Same with the
probably.
Same with the pterodactyls attacking the helicopter. That was supposed to be in the end of this movie. Here's where they point out the fact that he has a black daughter because they knew the audience was thinking that.
Again, this is a great case of this is the way diversity should be handled in movies. They cast a black daughter for him because she probably was the best actress. Like, she auditioned the best.
Yeah.
I don't even really think about it. Like, she's probably got a black mom. Who cares?
Yeah. He mentions in the first movie he has 3 kids. Like,
yeah. And he says he's like, I'm always looking for the next ex Mrs. Malcolm. So there's no reason to think that, like, he's not just sowing his oats everywhere.
Yeah. Or he could have just hooked up with a girl who had a kid already. Like, there's nothing stopping
And then he kind of adopted her. Yeah.
That never really bothered me too much. I know it bothers a lot of people, though.
I literally never thought about it until people started pointing it out to me.
It's just one of those.
I never questioned it.
Like, oh yeah, girl's black. All right, like that makes sense. Dude gets around.
They said that she's his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That's what more information do you need? Does then in the movie they need to be like, here's your birth certificate and a photo of me with your mom when you were born.
They kind of did that with the new Lost in Space. They made the oldest daughter black, and no one really says anything about it till like 6 episodes in. Because like the one dude, the new Don West, he just didn't know that she was their daughter, and she's like, he's talking to her, and then she's like, he was like, yeah, my dad, John Robinson. He's like, what? And she's like, yeah, you know, this whole thing. Like, but then they like totally brush it off. As soon as she says that, like it mentions the adoption thing, he's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, so there's only one time that I think that race matters in casting.
Yeah.
And that's when the race is the point of the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of my favorite plays of all time is a play called Clyburn Park. Mm-hmm. And it's 2 acts. The first act happens in like the 40s or the 50s, and the second act happens in the early 2000s, mid 2010s.
Yeah.
And the whole story is the family in the 40s has sold their house to a black family.
Okay.
And the neighborhood association's like, oh, we can't let them in here. We can't let them in here.
Yeah.
And then the newer act is a white family's now trying to buy this house, and now this neighborhood is considered a historically black neighborhood. And so if you cast African American people as the family in the first act,
yeah,
it's not going to make any sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I don't know.
In a movie like this, I don't really care.
Yeah.
She does the part pretty well, like as far as kid actors go. There's definitely been worse. She could be Timmy in the first Jurassic Park movie while Lex is hacking the computer and Sadler and Grant are holding the door closed. They're like, oh, I can't get to the gun because if I move away, then the door will open it. And then it cuts to a wide shot of Timmy just with his hands on his head, jumping up and down. It's like, Timmy, hand someone the fucking gun! Hand someone the fucking gun, please!
That's when Spielberg's like morals get in the way of logic. Like you know, Spielberg didn't want a kid to hold a gun in that movie. Yeah, and he couldn't think of a way out of it, so he's like, the kid jumps up and down. That's our excuse.
But also, if the kid hands Dr. Grant the gun, there goes all the tension for the whole. He's just like, all right, boom, one dead velociraptor, boom, next dead velociraptor.
But getting back to like race stuff, I don't know if I can comment. You know the play Anything Goes?
I recognize the name, but I've never done it, so I haven't read it. That's the only time I read plays is when I'm designing them.
Well, in high school, I played one of the horrible Chinese stereotypes in that play. So I guess I'm not allowed to go around telling people what they can do race-wise and stuff. Like there's full-on Fu Manchu stash and everything.
A few years ago, I did a play called Thoroughly Modern Millie, and Thoroughly Modern Millie has a man pretending to be a woman who's also pretending to be Chinese.
Oh my God.
And she's kidnapping young girls and putting them into white slavery.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And there's a lot of controversy about this musical because it's like this character is stereotypically racist.
Yeah.
But there are 2 actual Chinese people in the play, and their characters are handled very well with a lot of dignity.
Yeah.
It's just this one person who's like acting stereotypically Chinese. And it's like,
that's bad.
That's the whole point. You're supposed to think that person's shitty. They're the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's the bad guy of the show.
Yeah, the bad guys are allowed to be bad. Speaking of bad guys, I like Pete Postlewaite or whatever you pronounce his name in this movie. The Hunter.
How are those headphones staying on his head?
I have no idea.
Now we know everything we know about the bad guy. He wants to hunt the T-Rex.
They shot a scene for him to set up his character a little bit more. Him and that Indian friend he has were
hunting like a lion.
Yeah. Later in the movie, like he's sad about the Indian guy dying. It's like, wait, did they have a friendship? Who was that guy? But yeah, but there's a whole setup where he like fights a dude one-handed and shit. It's actually pretty cool.
So the CG in this shot is as bad as the one with the Stegosauruses, but it's so like shaky and frantic that you don't really notice.
Yeah, I was gonna say the camera's shaky. They're going in and out of sunlight. I think it's pretty decent. And then we got random apatosauruses that we didn't see in the first movie just showing up. Yeah,
this would be a good time to bring in like a frantic version of the Jurassic Park theme.
Yeah.
Like driving underneath this Brachiosaurus.
I don't mind.
Isn't it weird how, like, as an adult, you're taught that Brontosaurus never existed.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Brontosaurus is still a word that's like taught to kids.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like, why don't we just teach them that they're Brachiosaurus from the beginning instead of waiting until you're like 14 years old and going, oh, the Brontosaurus isn't real. Like, we've known the Brontosaurus isn't real for 50 years.
No, Brachiosaurus is something separate. The Brontosaurus is now considered Apatosaurus.
Yeah, but what happened was they put like the wrong skull on a thing and said, this is a Brontosaurus. And they're like, no, that's an Apatosaurus with the wrong head.
People get really mad about that. I think they think that all long-necked dinosaurs don't exist. It's like, no, that's not what they're saying. They're saying that because there's
checkmate. Checkmate. All dinosaurs are fake.
No, they're saying like there's Diplodocus, Apatosaurus. There's a bunch of them. It's just the Brontosaurus ended up. I also don't think people realize how like fossils are found. Like they're very rarely intact. So
here's a toy. This is a toy vehicle.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you've got these bucket seats that extend out from the sides. Yeah. All this like weird cable and dinosaur catching equipment. Yep. Like that's a toy.
Yeah, that
is for sale. I guarantee you that's for fucking sale.
This is
now here's these claws coming down.
This is Jurassic Park taking a page out of Star Wars. They're like, give us vehicles that we can make toys out of, even if they don't make fucking sense.
I mean, this vehicle does kind of make sense. Like,
yeah.
It's got those capture claws or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't know.
What does the satellite do for his camera? Is he like live streaming this to YouTube?
No, that was
Hey everybody, I'm here at the Suicide Forest on Isla Sorna. Here's a bunch of dinosaurs. Looks like some guys are capturing them, and that's really bad. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Oh, we've got a super chat in. It's from Dinosaur Lover XX132. He says, I really love the Pachycephalosaurus. They're my favorite. I can't believe these people are capturing them. Hashtag white people so bad. Thanks for saying that. I totally agree. This is really bad, and I'm really just out here to kind of bring some awareness.
That was fucking great. What I was gonna say, I think the satellite is it's supposed to be him capturing the audio from it. I think there was a scene like that in Anaconda.
Okay.
Owen Wilson has like a little satellite dish that he's using to pick up sounds in the jungle.
Owen Wilson, you mean Vince Vaughn?
No, Vince Vaughn in this movie, but there's a scene in Anaconda where I think Owen Wilson has a satellite thing, much like Vince Vaughn in this. Yeah.
I like one of those toys you had when you were a kid where it was like a dome over a microphone and you was like, you can hear over 500 yards.
Yeah.
And then you'd put the headphones on and just be like, oh man, it's really staticky all the way over there.
Okay, here's the scene where we know those guys are bad now. By the way, InGen are not the bad guys in this movie. This is the main flaw with this movie.
Like, why is InGen not the bad guys?
Because the dinosaurs are their property and they're not natural. Like the whole point of this, the good guys, they're like, you have to leave the dinosaurs alone in their habitat. We can't interfere with nature. It's like the dinosaurs being alive are interfering with nature. Like,
Oh,
there was life
yeah.
on this island. No one cares about the indigenous species on this island. They only care about the dinosaurs, apparently. It's like, there's probably like deer and monkeys and shit.
That's why making the bad guy Biosyn in the book, you're automatically against them.
Yeah.
Because the dinosaurs don't belong to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have made a lot more sense. Also, Biosyn had like weird ideas about dinosaurs.
But then the problem with making it Biosyn is that then, what's his name? Who's the old man? He wouldn't know that this thing was happening.
That's true.
So here's the guy. He's in every movie as a generic Russian.
Peter Stormare. He's in a bunch of video games too. And then I like that this movie worked the compies in, because the compies are what kills John Hammond in the books. But
yeah, he dies in the first book, doesn't he? He gets eaten to death because he like breaks his ankle.
He's more of an asshole in the first book. Like he's like naive like he is in the movie, but in the movie he's got like this childlike like naiveness to him.
Naivety. Yeah. In the book he's kind of a lot more, we have to open this park at all costs.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care about the cost as much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That I was looking up, that dead dinosaur there was actually going to be used for a scene where they find it in like the ocean or something. Like there was going to be a scene where like a fishing boat found it.
Oh, it was going to like wash ashore somewhere.
Yeah.
That's how they were going to find out about the island.
Yeah. And they like built it and didn't get used. So they threw it in this Rex nest. I hate the face on this baby T-Rex. I don't know why. It just, it's like Spielberg trying to be
That's
like
a bad cut.
Yeah,
dinosaur
really
looks up. Cut to the dinosaur looking down.
You know what? The first Jurassic Park has some really bad cuts. So I mean, Spielberg, his movies are so fast paced sometimes. Not this one, so it's a little bit more noticeable. But he usually has like a bunch of little tiny errors like that.
This is obviously a soundstage because look at that. Where's that light coming from?
Yeah.
In a real world situation.
Yeah, Spielberg loves his backlights. And they cut out why the dinosaur's leg is broken. Like if you see, there's like alcohol or something near him, or maybe it's in a later scene. There was something where like they were carrying the T-Rex and they dropped it on his leg or something like that.
Yeah, I think when they scooped it up,
yeah,
they broke its leg.
But now it just seems meaner. It seems like they broke it on purpose. But yeah, I mean,
they just march in the nest, just like kick it in its knee and break its leg in.
Yeah,
they're like, "Yeah, fuck you, T-Rex."
But yeah, I get it. Like the bad guys, all they want to do is bring these dinosaurs off and put them in a zoo. And I don't even think they want to bring all the dinosaurs.
Instead of having to ride your boat all the way out to Isla Nublar,
yeah.
Now you can just go to San Diego, where the zoo and the aquarium already are, and see dinosaurs. Yay!
Yeah, yeah. I mean, why not? We do that with regular animals all the time.
So this is the plot for Jurassic Park 5, Jurassic World 2, Kingdom of the Fallen.
No,
Fallen
they should have called that movie the Lost Park Jurassic World. It's just the complete opposite of this title. I'm like, that'd be great if they just fucking called it that. Oh, I love this. Where Vince Vaughn, he's not really a photographer. He's an eco-terrorist. It's like, oh, way to go, John Hammond.
He was prepared for everything.
If you ever play the game Lego Jurassic World during this cutscene, it's a Steven Spielberg Lego filming this part.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember that.
There's some funny stuff in that game. Like when the T-Rex shows up in San Diego, it pans over and the characters from Jaws are in the harbor.
Those Lego games are very self-referential.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Lego Dimensions?
No, I didn't. We have it at my work. I just never played it. That's the one where I really hate the toy video games where you have to like buy toys to get stuff in the video game. But someone on Craigslist was selling pretty much every Lego set you need, every bit of the game you would need to play it. So I bought it for $50. Oh, that's cool.
Which is a fucking steal because some of the characters that he sold me sell online for $50. Two of the characters, so I got $100 worth of characters plus a bunch of other shit for $50. Nailed it.
You know, looking at this model,
I think there's some lost. Say it again.
I'm looking at the model there he has at the zoo. How is he going to get like the Brachiosaurus and Apatosaurus into that goddamn zoo? It doesn't look big enough to hold like several of them. Yo, man, Stan Winston's paycheck for this movie must have been fucking through the roof. Like, look at all these animatronics.
Yeah, that's true.
And granted, a lot of them are just, you know, like reskins or something. Well, not the Stegosaurus; they're all new.
The head, they're just heads.
Yeah, and then that little baby Triceratops was built for the first movie but never used. But I don't know, the bad guys, they don't seem that bad to me in this. Is that just me? Like, he just wants to bring some of them into the zoo.
Yeah. It's not even a zoo. It's just an amphitheater. It's like a coliseum where you come in and see dinosaurs. They just march the dinosaurs out like, here is the T-Rex. And it's like, Bruh.
And then instead our good guys get a bunch of people murdered. I always felt bad for that Triceratops with the fire underneath them.
Yeah. These dinosaurs should be free.
See, now the CGI in this looks better because it's at night.
This is night, yeah.
This doesn't make any fucking sense, though. Why does this car go so fucking far in the air?
They're trying to hunt the T-Rex within car throwing distance of their camp.
Yeah,
that would never fucking work. You got to be out in the wild, like out by yourself.
Oh, there's the bottle of like wine and stuff. I think I think in the original script, someone's drunk and carrying him. Also, why
Glenlivet, 12. I'd recognize that bottle anywhere.
Again, I don't think we know enough about the hunters for scenes like this to matter. Like, it's like, oh yeah, he let him down. It's like, wait, do they know each other? Do they even know each other?
We haven't. This is literally the first time we saw these two people on camera together. We know that guy is shock asshole and the other guy is throw the manual asshole.
Also, I hate this shot. Like, it just starts with her just staring at the camera. Like, was she just sitting there staring off into space?
All right, rolling. Hey, Julianne Moore, can you know what? That's fine. We're just gonna we gotta get this done. Just all right. Yeah. Vince Vaughn, just walk into the water. Walk into the water. All right. Get in the car. Okay. That's fine. We'll cut there. We'll cut to something else.
Yeah. I was reading that Julianne Moore, she took on this movie because she had to pay for a divorce. And like, that's a good reason. That's a great reason to do a movie.
Just like the first movie, all the Jurassic Park movies deal with divorce.
Yeah.
You know, the first movie, Timmy and Lex's, their parents are going through a divorce.
Yep.
This movie, Julianne Moore's going through a divorce. The third movie, the Kirbys had a divorce.
Yep.
And the fourth movie, the parents that we see for 2 minutes for no reason are going through a divorce.
Who's going to go through a divorce in Fallen Kingdom?
Chris Pratt and the redheaded chick are going to have a divorce.
If they're married. We don't know if they're married.
Who cares? They're the most bland, useless characters in anything I've ever seen.
They're not bad. I don't think they're bad actors, but yeah, they got like nothing going on for them in that movie. I guess Bryce Dallas Howard, she has that little arc where she doesn't care about dinosaurs, but then does. But Chris Pratt is just a fucking plank of wood in that.
Literally, who cares?
Yeah. Hey, I mentioned that that was a Mercedes, right? I don't know if I feel like you might have forgotten that this is a Mercedes. Jurassic World's worse at it. Jurassic World has like a shot where like they pull up and they just linger on that fucking logo for a while.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4. So I've only seen Jurassic World one time.
Yeah.
In the theaters. I saw it, and as I walked out, I was like, wow, that was a great movie. I really loved it. and then someone was like, hey, what'd you think of Jurassic World? And I was sitting there thinking, you know what? This didn't make sense. And now every time I think about it more and more and more, I really hate that movie.
I have a love-hate thing with that movie. What was I gonna say?
Because I figured out. I watched Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago as just something to do.
Yeah, that is the ultimate just something to do movie.
Yeah, I've got. You know, I talked about her. I have a really good friend. She really loves Jurassic Park, so I was texting her.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I texted her something silly where I said, "This happened in this movie. That's completely ridiculous, literally unwatchable." It was some small thing. It was some small stupid thing. Like, had no bearing on the plot whatsoever. And she got really bent out of shape where she's like, "Do you just not like any of the Jurassic Park movies?" And I said, "No, I just don't like any of the Jurassic Park movies with the word world in the title."
Yeah. Ugh.
I don't have the message now.
Here's another example of just Ian Malcolm's character just not wanting to deal with the situation at all.
Yeah. Here's a dinosaur in the room, and he's just like, "I gotta get the radio working."
But by the way, he came here to get his girlfriend off the island, and now he's just letting her go into all these dangerous situations.
She's a strong, independent woman that doesn't need a man.
That's true.
Why you misogynist?
That's true. Why do the women keep getting like worse and worse in the Jurassic Park movies? Like Ellie Sattler in the first movie is great.
She's great. Yeah, she's probably the best character.
Yeah, and then you have Sarah Harding in this one. She's supposed to be like the same, but she does the opposite of everything she says.
She has no sense at all.
Yeah.
And then the next movie is Mrs. Kirby, and she is kind of the reason for all of that happening.
Yeah, she's just a hysterical screaming woman. It's like, okay, we're going a little backwards here.
Yeah, and then Bryce Dallas Howard in Jurassic World, and she's as bland as they come.
Yeah. This is an awful match shot here. Like you could tell, like that's terrible.
What they should have done was had them just be in the tree canopy.
Yeah.
Because then they could just have plastic plants like blocking all the sides.
Also,
and
it
wouldn't
looks
matter.
weird. It looks like they're hovering above the forest. Like, did they find one gigantic ass tree?
Yeah.
That again, she's an idiot. Like, look, I know you're trying to help the baby T-Rex, but you're in the middle of a fucking dinosaur place. Take the goddamn phone call.
And the phone's ringing. A phone that doesn't fucking connect to anything is ringing. Answer the goddamn phone.
Do you think Spielberg was just you think he was just thinking about making Saving Private Ryan the whole time he was doing this movie?
Saving Private Ryan, incredible film.
Do you think that was
to prep for Ready Player One, because Steven Spielberg directed that movie?
Yep.
I tried to watch a Steven Spielberg movie from every decade to try and capture, to get an idea, just like put it back in my head, like this is what a Steven Spielberg movie looks like.
Yeah.
And I rewatched Saving Private Ryan, and that's a movie that I've seen a bunch of times. It's been 10 or 12 years since I've seen it.
Yeah.
And normally, like I said, when I watch a movie, I've got my phone in one hand and I'm looking at the trivia. I was totally enthralled that whole movie. It's such a great movie.
It's a great movie.
That's the movie Steven Spielberg always wanted to make.
Yep. But like, I'm wondering. Oh, hold on 1 second. Yes, can I help you?
How you can only bring one roll of toilet paper up?
Oh, sorry, I'm getting yelled at. I didn't bring up enough rolls of toilet paper. My bad. Anyway, but yeah, he's making this, I guess, before Saving Private Ryan. You could tell he's just phoning this in for the paycheck. But then the first Jurassic Park, he did that.
Yeah, this movie, this paycheck is going to fund Saving Private Ryan.
Pretty much, but like the same thing happened with the first Jurassic Park, which, by the way, that was a cool shot, where he did Jurassic Park and then he immediately went into Schindler's List. But somehow both of those movies ended up being really good. I don't know why he just didn't give a shit about this one.
He's kind of like Brandon Braga? Bragana?
Oh, Kenneth Braga?
Kenneth Bragna, yeah. He does like a really big budget blockbuster movie and then immediately turns around and takes that paycheck and produces his own Shakespeare movie where he's the star.
Yeah.
Or he's whatever character that he likes best in that movie.
Did you see you see his Jack Ryan movie, the Jack Ryan prequel with Chris Pine?
No, because it had Chris Pine in it, and I hate Chris Pine.
I know you hate Chris Pine, but it actually wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty decent, and then it didn't do that well. And now they're doing the TV show with
he's like the guy from Chuck, right? No, it's the guy from The Office.
Yeah, the guy from The Office is doing the new one. John Krasinski.
Yeah.
I always like this scene. The two T-Rexes on each side.
This is what everybody remembers about this movie. The next like 20 minutes.
Yeah. And then
I think a lot of people forget that this movie has a whole like 30 minutes in San Diego.
Yeah, yeah. And like even as good as this scene is with the T-Rexes and whatnot, it's basically a rehash of
Doesn't redeem the movie.
It's a rehash of the car scene in the first movie. Only now there's more T-Rexes.
Just bigger.
Yeah. More T-Rexes, a bigger car, and an even bigger cliff to throw them off of. Like it's almost
the cliff. That's probably the one failing in Jurassic Park 1 is that the T-Rex steps from his enclosure onto the road and then somehow throws the truck off a cliff.
Wait. Are you telling me you don't watch the YouTube theory videos that explain it or look up the theoretical maps of the T-Rex paddock on Google?
No, but I may do that after this.
Yeah, people...
Don't take the belt off, Vince Vaughn. God damn it. Wait till it's closer to the fucking door. What the fuck is the matter with you?
Oh, my God.
This is some scary shit, man.
Yeah.
I was scared. I was so scared of this as a kid that I remember my mom saying, "Oh, well, if a dinosaur if like a T-Rex ever did corner you, their visual acuity is based on movement. So if you just don't move, you'll be fine." Which was a lie.
Dude,
you lied to me, Mom.
That is so weird because the whole vision based on movement is part of their like frog DNA in the first book. But in the first movie, they treat it as it's like a fact with all T-Rexes. And it's
I think it was a theory for a while because they're like, "Oh, their brain is so small," and they're like, "That doesn't make any sense at all." Also, even if their visual acuity is based on movement, they're still gonna fucking smell you.
Yeah, my girlfriend's dog is basically blind, and he does fine every day because he has his other senses are fine.
Yeah,
but
we had my dog went deaf first.
Yeah,
and when he went deaf, he would just always stay within like. He'd have to be somewhere where he could see you at all times.
Yeah.
And then he started to lose his eyesight, and he would he still somehow figured out how to be near us.
Yeah. But no, the sight thing was from the frog DNA, and like Grant finds out like during
the back glass of the trailer just fell out.
Yeah, they couldn't do another scene, I guess. They couldn't do another take of that. I mean, that's the one drawback with in-camera stunts. You're going to get stuff like that from time to time.
I remember reading a whole blog as a kid about Terminator 2, like all these and both Terminator movies where it's like he puts the pipe bomb in the Terminator when it explodes, like here are pieces of the robot that explode off and now they're all solid. And it's like, yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down.
The only time it really bothers me if it like affects something in the story, if an error like that would break the story. But I mean,
but the thing is, like, how often are you looking at that?
That's true. Also, what a weird fucking door. It's a metal door, but then a giant plank of glass.
Yeah, and what the weird thing is we saw that door completely open in the shop, and now there's a piece of glass there. That door, and I guess maybe that piece of glass retracts too. Who knows?
It's almost as if it's real convoluted because they just wanted to have this shot. Which, granted,
this is also like a terrifying.
Yeah.
This is like the thing nightmares are made out of.
Yeah,
this is why. Have you ever been to one of those really tall buildings where they have a glass thing you walk out over?
No. I mean,
I think this is where the phobia people have of walking over those comes from.
This is a really good, as much as it doesn't make sense, it is really like tense. Like that whole scene with the cracks and you're like, oh no.
Yeah, this is like riveting edge of your seat shit.
Yeah. And again, even a bad Jurassic Park movie will have scenes like this that, I mean, it doesn't redeem the movie, but it's like, you know what? That one part was kind of fun.
And we've got double stakes now. We've got she's on the glass. We got to rescue her, and the satellite phone is like dangling from a lamp or something.
Yeah,
and it's like a twofer.
Yeah, it's really good. For a minute, I'm like into this movie.
Yeah, me too.
And then later there's a gymnastics scene that it makes me forget about everything else. I think that's what a lot of people remember is the fucking gymnastics scene.
I don't think people directly remember it, but I think it's like one of those silent things in your head that ticks over, and then the satellite phone breaks the glass.
Yep.
And her bag saves her.
Her lucky bag.
That was not a very good shot from the top down. This shot is bad. The shot from the outside is what they should have stuck to.
Well, the shot from the outside, if you look, the glass there's a plate of glass hanging on a piece of string or something. It always bothers me. And then, so what death do you think was more undeserved? Eddie in this movie when he gets bit in half, or the chick in Jurassic World who gets like attacked by the pterodon and then
picked up? Oh, the chick who was like babysitting the kids.
I don't think either of these deaths are really deserved, but they're like really mean for who they're happening to. But people say like her death is worse.
I think her death is worse because his death is him sacrificing himself to save everybody.
Yeah.
And so he gets points, I guess, for being like a great guy.
Yeah.
But
at the same time,
her death is really like she could have died.
Yeah.
But it's really mean because she gets like picked up by a pterodactyl and then eaten by the mosasaurus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And her only crime was like texting too much when the kids ran away from her.
Yeah, there was really nothing mean about her. I don't understand.
It's not like she was like, you guys aren't allowed to have any fun because I need to watch you the whole time.
Yeah. Give us something. Like even that wouldn't be a reason for death, but like give us something to not like her other than she's British. Like that's not enough.
Like if she was on her phone like talking to her boyfriend and the kids were able to run away then, but they like were watching her and she's like, "Oh, I have to take this phone call or something," or she got an email and they go, "Okay, we can run away now." Like it's on the kids. It's the kids' fault. And then she like immediately turns around and is like, "Where are the kids? Oh no!" She's worried and everything. And then when they finally meet up with her, she's like, "I was really worried about you." And then it's like, "All right, now you're getting eaten, bitch."
It's
Here's
really
what you get
mean.
for worrying.
And at least like Eddie kind of signed on for this, maybe knowing that there was a little bit of danger. Like she had no idea. She's trying to babysit some fucking kids.
She had to babysit her boss's kids. Yeah. Like that's part of her fucking job. Have you ever had like a boss's kids come in situation?
Oh yeah, my boss's kids come to our work all the time.
Yeah, and you don't know what to do. I hate when people's kids come in.
Like I like mess with the kids. They're funny.
Do I talk to them? Do I not? Like, is that going to make me a pedophile?
Doesn't run through my head.
Am I a pedophile if I talk to the kids? Am I an asshole if I don't talk to the kids? What? I don't even know what to do.
I usually just don't talk unless they're like talking to me.
Oh yeah. Oh man. The rope comes loose. He can't get the thing onto the car. Perfect. This is a perfect scene. Yeah. This whole sequence.
And again, it's all their fault though. Like everything is happening because they decided to help a T-Rex. Mind you, an animal that should have been dead for
when they
millions
landed
of years.
on the island, they didn't just immediately try to leave.
Yeah.
Like Ian Malcolm wanted to. Suspenseful instrumental music intensifies. That's the subtitle on this.
I love the subtitles.
I never watch anything with subtitles. I actually loathe and despise subtitles.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes I need them just to, like, especially when I'm doing
I'm glad you turned them on because I turned down the movie quite a bit in my headphones.
Yeah,
so that I could hear you.
I mean, I could probably quote this movie verbatim if I really tried, but
I couldn't go that far. There is a movie on the Here's What I Don't Get Patreon. We're going to be releasing a commentary, and the stakes keep building. Like the rope breaks free. Now the car slide is perfect.
Also,
we did my favorite movie of all time, which is The Lady Killers, and I can just watch that movie in my head. Like sometimes when I'm at work and I'm bored, I'll just watch that whole movie in my head.
Oh, I could do that with 100 movies. Jurassic Park, definitely. I could quote a lot of. Halloween, I know almost every word to. Like I know that movie like in and out.
What do you think of the new Halloween sequel boot or whatever that's happening?
I think it's going to be kind of pointless, like most Halloween sequels, but it's the most interesting Halloween thing I think in years. Even though,
is It's a sequel to the second movie, right?
No. Just a sequel to the first movie. So she's not his brother she's not his sister anymore. Because
so they're pretending that the second movie didn't happen. The one where it's in the hospital.
Yep, never happened.
Later that same night.
Yeah, they're just doing the first movie, which I think is more interesting. Because then they add the brother.
You know,
sister
of all the
thing.
Halloween sequels, I actually prefer Halloween 2 is still really good.
Yeah, it's fine.
So that seems kind of weird to me.
Halloween 2 and H2O are probably like the best of the sequels.
Oh, hey, no, you're right. H2O is great.
Yeah. And I
remember H2O.
This one is like H2O again, but like dropping the family aspect from it.
You know what I wish they would make an H2O of?
What?
Is Friday the 13th Part 4 H2O.
Well, they kind of did because in Part 6 and he's older.
No. But like delete all the later movies.
Well, you can't do that because Part 6 is the best Friday the 13th movie. It's awesome.
Friday the 13th Part 7?
No. 6. With it's like,
which one's 6?
That's the more like comedic one, but it's Tommy Doyle, the kid Corey Feldman played, older now. There's 3 Tommy Doyle.
Is 6 the one where it's not Jason Voorhees? It's like a regular guy.
No. That's 5. 6 is when Jason comes back and he's like a full on zombie. But it's like self-aware. This is a great scene, by the way. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, this guy does not deserve this.
Yeah, but it also looks cool.
It looks great because it's dark.
Yeah.
And this shot, fucking terrifying.
But here's the thing. Friday the 13th has horrible continuity, so you could just bring Tommy Doyle back again and do that whole story.
Well, so the reason I want an H2O that has
Corey Feldman.
What's his name in it? The same actor.
Yeah, Corey Feldman did the young kid.
Yeah.
In Part 4, yeah. But why did they park next to a giant ass cliff in the first place?
Because they're stupid.
Yeah, they are pretty fucking. And these hunters should not be helping them. Like, as soon as that truck went under, they should be like, all right, well, we're done. Yeah, let's go help the people who fucking sabotaged us. And also, I guess they picked up Kelly. What was that about?
Hold on. Sorry, my audio just went crazy.
Oh, sorry. You still recording?
Oh, okay. Oh, that was weird. My audio just like suddenly spiked through the roof. My whole mixer is fucking crazy now.
Oh, shit.
It's fine. I got it rebalanced.
This is just some realistic behind the scenes stuff for you people listening. We're not gonna cuck this commentary.
That's the thing about commentaries is that you can't cut a fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can, but it's a pain in the ass. That Mexican guy behind them is like one of the most famous stuntmen of all time.
The guy that's holding him with the long hair?
No, the guy who's holding him with the long hair, I think, is El Scorpio from Predator 2. I've never realized that.
I think you're probably right.
I never realized that until right now. I'm like, holy shit, that's El Scorpio. But no, the Mexican dude, later on, he's like singing when the Russian guy gets killed and he gets stepped on by the T-Rex.
That guy.
Thomas Rosales Jr., I think is his name. He is in so many goddamn movies, and I recognize him every single time. He doesn't do too much stunt work these days, but you'll still see him as like, anytime there's like a cartel or something, you're like, oh, there he is. He's always there. But I think I recognize him because of this movie. I really think that's El Scorpio. I'm looking it up right now. I think that's El Scorpio.
This guy's an alcoholic. He's got to get his maintenance drinking in. Otherwise, he'll die.
All right, I'm looking it up here. Henry Kingi. He was also in Batman Returns. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, he was...
The chick Catwoman cuts up his face, I think.
Yeah.
He was in Civil War also?
Either that...
He's still working.
Interesting.
Let's see. Oh my god, his fucking IMDb is through the goddamn roof. Hold on. Oh, he was in a couple Batman movies. Huh. Oh wait, that's stunts. Let me look. Actor. There we go. Oh shit, that's not him. Oh, I just assumed. I just assumed they all look alike. I guess. Where am I? This is when fucking Vince Vaughn's character gets so fucking annoying.
Yeah, he's lost any edge, and now he's just like a crazy whiner.
Ugh. If this movie were made today, he would be the hero because of how like fucking liberal he is. He would be going to the island to try to feed the carnivores a vegan diet.
Hey, Mr. T-Rex, let me talk to you about this new soy protein.
Yeah.
Instead of eating other dinosaurs, you can now have this Soylent. This is a tofu apatosaurus that you can eat all day. It's just as filling. It comes in 3 great flavors. We have an apatosaurus, we have a stegosaurus, and we have a triceratops that you could try. And it's really good for you. It's a lot better for your cholesterol. And immediately just gets eaten.
Yeah. But I love like he's lecturing the guy on not killing dinosaurs. It's like the dinosaurs aren't supposed to be here. Like they're not.
No.
And even when they were brought back, they were not meant to be in an environment like this, like free roaming and whatnot.
They're not even dinosaurs. They're abominations. They're mixed breed.
Yeah. They don't have their. They don't have their feathers. Like, he wants these dinosaurs to exist without their feathers. What kind of monster? I'm shocked they didn't like introduce more of the feather stuff after 3.
I think they explain it away in Jurassic
they
World.
explain it away, but the first movie's like was applauded at the time for being so accurate, you know, based on the knowledge that they had.
Yeah.
Like I know the raptor is closer to Deinonychus, but Deinonychus was classified as a raptor for a bit, so they get a little bit of leeway, but the Jurassic World just chose to just straight up ignore the science, which I think really rubbed a lot of people wrong.
The science, they're just like, oh, we need to make it look just like the original.
Because I know 3 bothered people when they started adding like feathers to the male raptors, but I think these days
they gave them character.
Yeah, everyone's on board for feathered dinosaurs. I think, right? Like I think everyone's used to the idea now. It's showing up in toys.
So she's still got blood all on her clothes.
Yeah.
That's apparently wet because she's an idiot.
The character who yelled at someone earlier for smoking or putting out a fire with smoke and with water because it might draw attention. Yeah, she's walking around with fucking T-Rex blood everywhere. And this is after she's mentioned how great the smell is, like the T-Rex sense of smell is.
What a fucking idiot.
It won't dry in the humidity.
Like, I understand she doesn't have any changes of clothes, but she could probably just abandon that jacket.
Also, like, wasn't it raining like a shit ton? Like most of that blood didn't wash off in the rain.
Most of that blood, should have washed off.
Yeah, like I get that it would probably stain, but the fact that it's still like liquidy, that should have dried. And that now he's looking at the gun.
Yeah, this movie's literally unwatchable. Just cancel now.
I swear.
Also,
yeah,
her pack should have a change of clothes in it because even my day pack for hiking, like I go on simple day pack, a day hike, and I've got a change of clothes that is appropriate for the weather as well as 3 times the water I think I'm supposed to need because you never know when you might like fucking step off the side of a trail and go tumbling down a hill and break a leg.
Yeah. Ugh.
Or like a tornado comes blowing in and destroys everything.
Wait, here's a cool question. Was this guy just going to pee? Why did he go so far to pee?
I have no idea. But he drops all his stuff and then he's like, I gotta go look around to like find my gun. Just pee right off the side. I mean, I've been peeing into a bucket this whole commentary.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
this CGI is not too bad.
I'm just constantly peeing, man.
That was actually really decent CGI right there. But I think because they had like a model on set that they can like use for lighting and whatnot, that one didn't look too bad. And now there's I
think that's the same model that they show when the girl's like trying to feed it.
Yeah. get lost. It wasn't that far.
No.
Ugh. What was it? He was in Armageddon, right?
That guy, yeah. he's the Russian cosmonaut in
space
Armageddon.
station.
He's also in John Wick 2.
Yep.
He's the guy that says, like, I kill with a fucking pencil. And then John Wick comes in, they have a drink, and he's like, take your car and go. He's been in probably 100 movies. It's just like your generic Russian guy.
He was in he's in Arrow. So Arrow had who's the fucking Count? Oh, who's the DC character that makes everyone dizzy? Count Vertigo, right? And it was like this punk
Hypnosis Man.
It was like this punk goth kid that was like really fucking annoying. And they killed him in season 2. And they decided his replacement would be elderly Peter Stormare, and it actually works way better. he makes fun of the previous Count Vertigo, and he's a better Count Vertigo. I'm like, wow, that actually works.
And now he gets his just desserts. I think so. There's a shot coming up here where he is just like covered in plastic dinosaur toys.
Like, I think it's right here.
Yeah. There's a wider shot where you can really tell, but even then,
that lip part.
It's kissing him. How progressive, a dinosaur-human relationship.
That'll be the plot of Jurassic Park 6. We should be able to have relationships with them.
My relationship status is complicated because I am in a committed relationship with a velociraptor.
Well, most of the Jurassic Park dinosaurs are trans, so they'll probably be in these days.
Have you ever dealt with chickens?
Yeah. Growing up, my grandfather had a bunch, and we used to go to, like, his friends had a farm, and I'd be hanging around chickens. Yeah.
These little procompsognathids, they are just like chickens.
Pretty much.
In that, I just want to say, I had a chicken come up to me today, and I was like, you best back the fuck away from me, chicken.
Dude, they fucking hurt when they bite.
Yeah. Well, so, yeah. My parents have chickens now because that's the most Oklahoma thing you could possibly have. When I went to California for the first time, I went over to these people's houses that I did not like, but I was required to go to. And the minute we met, I was just like, God, I fucking hate these people. And they're talking about, oh, you're from Oklahoma, you must be a redneck.
Oh, God.
And which, man, just annoyed the shit out of me. And then we go over to their house, and they have fucking chickens in their backyard. And I'm like, you listen to country music, you've got chickens in your fucking backyard. Yeah. I'm from Oklahoma, and I'm the redneck. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's such bullshit.
So anyway, now fast forward several years, and I've got my parents have chickens in their back fucking yard, and I go over to my dad. I go spend the day with my dad because this is Father's Day.
Yes.
And they've got chickens in the backyard, and I guess this one chicken is new, like a young one, and this other chicken's like protecting it like a homie. And so the other chickens are real pissed off that there's this little chicken that they can't peck to death, and they're taking it out on everybody around him. And so it like starts coming towards him. It's like, back the fuck up, chicken, you piece of shit. I will kill you. I don't care you used to be a T-Rex. You ain't nothing but dinner to me.
Yeah.
I'll fry your ass so fast you'd be like, whoa, is this a Colonel Sanders? Yes, it is.
It is funny.
I'll take your ass to church.
We have a
Popeye the Sailor Man and be like, yeah, I am what I am. Yeah.
By the way, I hate that, like, is the blood messy or is it just in the water? The blood looks weird in this shot.
I think the blood's in the water and there's also fog. Who knows?
And it's clearly digital.
They set it up perfect because nobody misses this guy until now. His pack is hidden behind a tree. Mexican guy didn't hear what he said.
And now they're searching for him. I like how short the hunter's shorts are.
Yeah, those are like his dick's about to hang out of those shorts. That's what you want to be doing on the hunt. Like you want to be at risk that your ball's gonna flop out and a lion's gonna go. Yeah. Oh shit! That guy's got huge balls.
Also, this scene sucks. No way any of these hunters would listen to Vince Vaughn after all the shit he's caused them.
Oh yeah. Like he's gotten a bunch of their buddies killed.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the man who's paying you, that one you won't listen to. The guy who got your friends killed, let's listen to him. It's such bullshit.
The guy who's paying me always gets my top level of respect. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Yeah.
You got it. Absolutely. Oh, you signed the check? Yeah, anything you need. I do a lot of, so my job is 97% freelance.
Yeah.
You know, every so often I get on what I call permalance.
Yeah.
Where I'll just kind of get on with somebody and work for them a lot of the time.
Yeah,
but a lot of my stuff is referrals and that kind of shit. And so, you know, working those kind of gigs, so much ass kissing.
Yep.
Like you walk in ass kissing, you walk in the door ass kissing. Oh man, you know, great. Thank you for hiring me. This is gonna be a great show. You know, can't, you know, we're gonna do the X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
So like the apex of butt kissing. But even then, by the time you get to that permalance position where they're calling you fairly regularly, you still got to ass kiss all the time.
Yep. Yep.
You never know. This rich dumb fuck, he might think, oh, you know what? Next time we'll be able to hunt those dinosaurs.
Oh, by the way, Ian Malcolm, he's suddenly interested again because they're talking about how to leave the island. That's the only thing he cares about.
Here we go. They just like ate a fucking snack, didn't finish eating it, and just left whatever was out.
Yeah,
on
what the fuck?
Where'd the snack even come from? Was it in her bag? Stupid
I don't know.
Bitch.
Also, he should know exactly what's happening here once he sees the ripples in the water.
Yeah. In the first movie, there's a whole scene where he's like, "That's an impact tremor. Something's coming," and
I'm fairly alarmed here.
No. She wakes up, immediately sees her half-eaten snack.
You know what?
Stupid.
You know
bitch.
what Deep Blue Sea did right?
Why is your light on? Your lantern should not be on. You're asleep.
Wait, have you ever seen Deep Blue Sea?
Yes.
That movie did the right thing where the girl who created all the problems gets killed at the end, even though she's supposed to be one of the good guys. And the best thing about that is...
Does she?
Huh? Yeah. The best thing about that is that's not how it was shot. They added that in a reshoot because they were like, you know what? We're testing this with audience. They like LL Cool J better. So they killed her in post and didn't even tell her.
Was that the chick that... Like she takes off her wetsuit and shows herself almost naked and then stands on top of her wetsuit to like electrocute the shark to death.
And at the end,
I don't remember her dying.
She jumps.
I guess she did because I remember at the end, it's only LL Cool J and Thomas Jane that make it out alive.
They're actually looking over to her. But since they cut out her death, it's funny because they're just hanging out and they have no reaction to her dying because because when they shot the scene, she didn't die. So it makes it even funnier. But her character is fucking terrible. Like she caused all these problems. And it was just so funny that this shitty movie had enough like realization to be like, oh yeah, you know what? Let's just kill her. No one likes her.
Let's just kill her. Yeah. We'll call it even.
But this movie could have benefited from that and just had like, Julianne Moore should have died in this movie. Her and Vince Vaughn really deserved to die.
She could have died in San Diego, and it could have created like, I don't know, like a vengeance complex for Ian Malcolm. That would have been interesting.
Also, Malcolm isn't talking about any like chaos or anything in this film. I don't even think he mentions chaos once, and that's like his whole thing.
I don't think he mentions it at all in the book either.
Yeah. Also,
the only thing we get for chaos is that every chapter in the physical book, they do like the first book is iterations or something. Anyway, it like creates a fractal shape basically.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. There's Thomas Rosales Jr. Ugh.
Here it comes. You shouldn't have run.
That looks pretty good. The Rex in this looks pretty good too.
Well, that's what you want to put. That's what they put the effort into. Yeah. Like that's the star.
And I think that's the male Rex. The male Rex has like the green with the stripes, and that's the female. I always thought the female in this movie was the female from the first one, but I guess Jurassic World proved that wrong.
And also the female in Jurassic World is the same one from the original Jurassic Park. So they like caught it and put it in a cage again?
I guess.
Question mark?
Who knows?
Kata.
So if all these movies are canon, which Jurassic World, you can watch that and just pretend that the other two didn't happen. But they are still technically canon. Like, what were the dinosaurs on Nublar doing? Like the T-Rex and whatnot? Like,
Just hanging out, I guess.
Were they just in fences and they were sitting there going, I don't know, eventually we'll figure out something?
For like 20 years?
Yeah.
Because I think it was 20 years this week that Jurassic Park 1 came out, right?
25 years.
25 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just a couple of days ago. The original Jurassic Park was on TV the other night. I was watching it.
My sister, she hates me. At her birthday, every year she gets pissed off because she was born exactly 1 year before Jurassic Park, June 11th. So every year I'll do like this really nice post about Jurassic Park and I'll just ignore her birthday and she gets pissed off.
It's been 25 glorious years since Jurassic Park came out. It really changed cinema, not only the computer graphics, but also, the way we tell stories.
It also ruined some movies because everyone was like, CGI, that's the future.
Yeah, and also happy birthday, my sister, or whatever.
I like how George Lucas decided to start doing the prequels after Jurassic Park. So Jurassic Park's kind of responsible for all the shitty Star Wars movies.
Star Wars prequels. Yeah, because he saw this and was like, oh, maybe we can make a movie where everything's CG and looks terrible.
Yeah.
So I made the mistake of watching Solo, a Star Wars story today.
Real quick, this guy with the snake, this has got to be the dumbest scene in a Jurassic Park movie ever, right?
Oh, yeah. It's red on black, friendly Jack, red on yellow, kill a fellow. Come on, man.
Like there's this, and then there's the Velociraptor dream sequence, the gymnastics. Those are the three worst things in Jurassic Park.
Well, no. I like the Velociraptor dream sequence because that's totally a dream that Alan Grant would have.
I like it too, but then there is the whole thing where it's like, wait, Grant's never seen the Velociraptors with the feathers on their head.
But he works with Velociraptors and like that's so several years ago, right? I'm in bed and in the middle of the night I wake up the girl that I'm with. Yeah. And I'm on her side of the bed coiling a cable. And she wakes up and asks, like, what are you doing? And I say to her, I've got to coil this cable. And she's like, well, can you coil this cable in bed? And I go, yeah. And then I coil the cable all the way around to my side of the bed and get in bed and go back to sleep. Like that's sleepwalking. But that's literally what I do every fucking day of my life is I coil a cable probably at least once a day at this point.
You're doing it in your sleep.
And I'm fucking doing it in my sleep. And so I can totally see a guy who's spent the last 20 years fucking researching velociraptors having weird ass fucking dreams about velociraptors. Especially when you're on a plane to an island with velociraptors. We've all had those dreams. We've all had dreams where we're just doing what we fucking do every day. But it's weird. It's weird now.
Wait, speaking of raptors, this scene could have been really cool with the raptors in the long grass if anyone we cared about was involved. Like, everyone's like, oh, I love the long grass scene. I'm like, oh, you mean the scene full of characters that you can't name just getting killed, and then when our heroes enter the long grass, nothing happens.
That is true. That's one of the I think that's one of the things about Jurassic Park 3 that makes it fail is that basically nobody dies.
Yeah.
Like
there's 3 who get killed in the beginning, 4, I guess.
Nash dies when the plane hits the Spinosaurus. Cooper dies when the plane crashes. It pulls him out and eats him.
And Udesky gets his neck snapped.
His name is Mr. Noodle, Tony.
Sorry.
Mr. Noodle gets his neck snapped by a velociraptor, which is one of the stupidest moments in film.
That is pretty fucking stupid. There's a lot of neck snapping in that movie because the Spinosaurus.
Yeah, because the fucking Spinosaurus snaps the neck of the T-Rex like it's a Steven Seagal film.
Yeah. And then I guess Ben Hildebrand, but he dies off screen, so I don't know if he counts.
He dies off screen and we just see his bones. That totally doesn't
count. Speaking of bones,
there's like 0 deaths. This movie has a bunch of fucking deaths. Yeah. That's what makes it better.
But it's deaths you don't care about. Like, I didn't care about any of those hunters.
Yeah, well, they're the bad guy. Like we're supposed to not care about them. So when the raptors, I mean, it's pretty suspenseful. Like the long grass, and we see the tails, and we see the swooping. Yeah, but it's like the stakes are at -10.
By the way, this whole compound was actually going to be bigger, and it was gonna be like the climax of the movie. And then Spielberg
in the compound.
Yeah, the place they're in now. And then Spielberg decided he wanted to do the whole San Diego thing. So he called the crew and he's like, "Hey, how many buildings did you build?" And they were like, "Oh, like 3 or 4." And he's like, "All right, just finish those and don't do anything else. We're not doing the end of the movie here anymore."
And then the compound, we see this compound again in Jurassic Park 3, and it's totally different.
Yeah, or that could be a different compound on a different part of the island.
A different section?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's got vending machines.
Yeah, that looks like
weird.
Where they grew the dinosaurs. This looks like, I don't know what this, maybe this village would have.
This looks like a visitor center.
Yeah, I don't know what
the vending machines in Jurassic Park 3 have always bothered me because, so you fly your staff out to an island where they're feasibly living on the island for at least Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And then, maybe Saturday and Sunday they get to go to Costa Rica and hang out.
Yeah.
And you're going to fucking charge them 85 cents to buy a fucking Snickers bar? They've earned the Snickers bar, dude. They're prisoners on an island with fucking dinosaurs.
Jesus Christ. I think the whole San Diego thing was Spielberg and the crew trying to beat Godzilla to the punch because Godzilla was coming out the next year.
Oh, the one with Matthew Broderick?
Yeah, I really think that was them going, you know what? Let's just beat him to the punch.
That's actually a good theory. That's pretty.
Why not?
That's a pretty sound theory.
Like fucking Godzilla was ripping off Jurassic Park. Like the baby Godzillas in that movie are basically raptors.
Oh man, you know what? 12-year-old me has always been disappointed that we never found, like, there was never a closure to the final shot of Godzilla with Matthew Broderick that Godzilla burst out of the egg.
The cartoon was the whole premise.
That was the cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. That's how they explained it. Well, in any case, I wanted to see another movie.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you want closure, you could count Godzilla Final Wars, where the real Godzilla kills the American Godzilla. Yeah, I guess if you want that.
I need to go back and I want to watch all the Godzilla movies. Maybe that's the next franchise I'm going to try and find and watch all of them.
I'll join you for a few of those. I love Godzilla.
I've only seen a few of them.
Oh yeah, they're mostly bad, but once in a while you get a few good ones. The first one, the Japanese one, is like a legitimately good movie.
Yeah.
The Japanese version. The American version's a little fucky. But
I remember in the Inspector Gadget movie, also with Matthew Broderick.
Oh yeah.
He's like evil Inspector Gadget and he's doing shadow puppets of a Godzilla and there's a bunch of like Chinese people running away from him because he's like shooting flamethrowers and stuff. And one of the guys goes, "This is why I left Tokyo." And I always thought that was hilarious as a child.
Japanese people do it in this movie too. Only they're saying it in Japanese, so you can't hear them. Yeah. And then I think Austin Powers 3 Goldmember also had that scene. So there were like several movies that did this fucking joke. Also,
so this is where I think this movie takes a huge nosedive.
What, right here?
Ooh.
I don't like the look of the raptors in this. They have like weird green eyes and they got these tiger stripes.
And
they don't look like they're CGI models.
Yeah.
Like that raptor right there will look nothing like it does when you see the live action version.
Yeah.
Like I get it, they needed a raptor scene, but I don't think the raptor scenes are really pretty cool.
And they like do these weird circles around where they were far away from the raptor and then they ran closer for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they were busy eating the other guys. I don't know. They are smaller though.
Yeah,
they're kind of more accurate to how tall a raptor should be.
The last movie?
Yeah, I think they're a little smaller than the last movie.
Well, so the first movie came out and they're like, "Oh, there are no velociraptors that are 6 feet tall."
Yeah.
And then immediately after that movie came out, they discovered a breed that was
the Utah raptor.
Yeah.
And even then, they weren't really based off velociraptor. They were based off Deinonychus, which is taller than a raptor, but still not 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Because actual velociraptors are really tiny.
Yeah, they're like 3 feet. They're 3 feet tall, and that's why they're theoretically so fast.
Yeah.
Because they're light and agile.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel anything here because I don't care about any of these people.
Yeah, there's really no tension because
And it's
as much as I'll give the daughter credit for not sucking.
Yeah.
You know, the way that, like, say a Jake Lloyd.
Yeah.
Or you know, who's the Macaulay Culkin, like, suck as child actors.
Yeah. But like, still,
there's really, like, the stakes mean almost nothing.
I don't think there's any really bad actors in this. It's just the writing can only take you so far.
Yeah.
I feel that way about
that's really actually a really good point, because they're all pretty, like, Julianne Moore has won an Oscar or at least been nominated.
I think so.
Jeff Goldblum, great actor. Vince Vaughn, fairly decent actor. Like, when he does parts that are good, he does a good job of doing them. But yeah, really they just don't really do anything with them.
I actually feel that way about like a lot of the new DC movies. They're fucking awful, but I think all the actors are fine in them. Except for Jared Leto and what's his face, the guy who plays Lex Luthor. They're pretty fucking terrible. Like, not bad actors, but I don't think any amount of writing would have made their performance good in those movies.
So the thing with Jesse Eisenberg in Batman 5 Superman is that Jesse Eisenberg, he's not playing the same Lex Luthor that Gene Hackman's playing in Superman.
You don't have to do the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor, but like a more serious Lex Luthor, I'm on board for that, but his was just fucking weird. He
was trying to be a Mark Zuckerberg, a Jack from Twitter kind of guy.
Yeah, I guess.
And
I couldn't even understand him half the time. He was talking so fast and quiet. I'm like, what the fuck is he? Oh, here we go.
I understood. Oh yeah, these look just like parallel bars, even though they're some kind of pipes.
Here's the thing, though. She's doing it before the raptor jumps.
Oh yeah, she is.
What if the raptor had just left or bit him by the leg and dragged him down? And it answers her. I love that it answers her.
Hey, you. What? Oh, bitch. Yeah. So anyway, but Jesse Eisenberg was trying to play like a Mark Zuckerberg type, or that's totally a man too. By the way, Jesse Eisenberg is trying to play like a Mark Zuckerberg, a Jack from Twitter type, and I understand what the inspiration was and what he was trying to do. It just really doesn't carry over.
Nope.
And I don't know if that's the writing, if that's the editing. Like, I don't know where
it's probably
the thread
writing
got lost, but it got lost in somewhere in that movie. And that's actually in my mind, that's actually a really cool idea for a bad guy.
Yeah,
like,
it just didn't work out.
It just really didn't work. And I still like Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, he's fine.
Like, I think.
Also,
I'm never gonna be like, oh, new Jesse Eisenberg movie, I gotta go see it. But I'm not gonna like not see a movie because he's in it, like I would with Michael Cera, who I loathe and despise.
Yeah, I like this here. Her like pulling the shutters down.
Fairly clever.
Also, they're not really secured on there pretty well. Getting back to earlier, that shot with the raptor with the spike through it, it's pretty violent for a Spielberg thing.
That's Jason 5 right there.
Yeah.
And then she falls down and they're still fighting amongst each other.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be a pack. Why would they fight each other? Like, that's a total turn for no reason.
I don't know. I mean, they
should have just had her climb up on the roof.
They are animals. You ever seen two dogs who live with each other just fight for no reason one day?
Yeah, but not when they're like those are on the hunt.
Yeah.
They're like, the whole idea is that they're
during
team
a hunt. It's
predators.
weird during a hunt. Like, there was that shot in the first one where like the one raptor tries to bite the other, but they didn't like start fighting.
Yeah. And that bite could easily have been like, hey, fucking pay attention, dude. Because like I have worked with people that I don't like, that I would bicker with, but then when the time came to get work done, you just get the work done. And I feel like that's also part of the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I will say I really like the new score John Williams came up with for this movie. Not as good as the first Jurassic Park music, but I think John Williams is really good at expanding and changing the scores
and reinterpreting his old stuff.
Like even
making it in this like feel like it's part of the same family,
and even like
but not just doing the same thing.
What you call it? Even in the new Star Wars movies, the ones that he's still doing, he still does a good job of like coming up with a new score that feels organic to the universe and whatnot.
that's something that you can't, like, some composers like Alan Silvestri, love him to death, but his scores all sound the same. Like, I'm watching a movie and I go, oh, this is Alan Silvestri, isn't it? Yep,
there was a stretch of time where a lot of his scores sounded the same. His Predator one is pretty unique. But yeah, there's like
I think it's because he adds a little bit more.
Yeah.
There's a lot more drums, there's a lot more percussive stuff in there, and there's also, I'm trying to play it in my head. I think it's mostly just the kind of tribal. It's like almost tribal feel to it. Yeah.
Jurassic Park 3's music doesn't really stand out, but I really like the Jurassic World score by Michael I can't pronounce his last name.
Gacciano.
Yeah, I think he did a good job.
Yeah. He did the Incredibles score. Motherfucker.
It was weird. He was really good at doing Williams' score for Jurassic World, but when Star Wars Rogue One came out, his music did not stand out at all. It was kind of bizarre.
He's real hit and miss. Like he does some really good stuff. Like the Incredibles, the score of the Incredibles is really good, and then sometimes he does fucking bland, boring shit.
Who's the one that I hate? I hate Brian Tyler, and he does the score of like everything. His music is fucking bland.
Yeah,
as
he's
shit.
been really popular in the last.
He did a bunch of the Marvel
6 or 8 years.
He did a bunch of the Marvel movies in like Phase 2, and I'm like, this guy's awful.
Yeah, he did. I want to say Iron Man and
Iron Man 3.
The Avengers. Did he do the Avengers?
He did Avengers
one of the
2,
Avengers.
Iron Man 3, and Thor 2.
Yeah,
and all
Thor.
those...
The score for Thor 2 is completely forgettable.
Yeah, except for like the funeral scene, and that's it.
You know what? I'll go ahead and say it. I love the MCU, but their music, they gotta get fucking on the ball.
Yeah, I love the score for Thor 1.
You can't hum like, other than the Avengers theme, which is Alan Silvestri, you can't fucking hum a piece of music from a Marvel movie to save your life.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Thor 1 and Captain America have some really good music, but yeah, you're right about everything else. Like, the Guardians of the Galaxy theme just sounds like the Avengers theme, just slightly changed.
Yeah.
And here we go. Here's the San Diego scene where almost all the characters don't come back.
Yeah, we're down to
Vince Vaughn's gone.
The daughter's gone. It's just get Jeff Goldblum and Julianne Moore and the pompous
bad guy.
That guy. I don't remember his name.
Peter Ludlow.
John Hammond's nephew.
Yeah.
Is he? I guess he's Lex and Timmy's dad.
No. Because they hit Hammond's daughter is their parent. So Ludlow is his nephew.
So
it must be a sister's kid.
Okay. Yeah. We've got this GTO. That it's a really beautiful car, but
yeah. Wait. Well,
my heart's set on the Buick of the era, the muscle car era. Yeah. Are you a muscle car guy?
Not really. I'm not a big car dude.
I like cars. I mostly like the muscle car era.
Real quick,
but,
I like this guy holding the light. His hand's shaking. You could tell he's like about to lose it. His hand would just started shaking a lot. Like, man, they couldn't put that light on a stand for that.
It's too heavy. Yeah, my favorite car of the
90s or
muscle car era was the Buick Skylark.
A Buick Skylark. Is that the one from My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah, it's the least favorite of everybody, but it was the fastest car of the muscle car era. Yeah. If you actually know anything about cars,
I think that was the one from My Cousin Vinny.
I liked it. It is. It is. They have like a 68 in My Cousin Vinny. Yeah.
This is a cool miniature shot coming up, but it's kind of stupid that everyone's just standing there. Also, SSS Venture, that's the name of the ship in King Kong, so they're being real fucking obvious with their inspiration here.
Reference.
And even the Lost World novel, like the Conan Doyle novel, ends with a dinosaur coming back to the mainland, I think.
Oh, of course.
Or at least the movie did. The movie, like, a brontosaurus comes back. So I think that was their way of justifying it. They're like, oh, it's like King Kong. It's like Lost World. But really, it's just, we want to get our giant monster in the city before Godzilla does. It's so cynical.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind the San Diego part of this movie. It feels like its own little movie.
I find it really hard to believe this boat would stay on course, like unless they let the dinosaur out like 3 minutes before coming ashore.
I guess you could
I don't
say,
know. Have you ever done anything with boats?
I guess you could say like maybe there's like a super advanced autopilot on it.
Yeah, I mean the problem with autopilot and boats is that like you hit currents, you hit weird eddies. Like you can definitely set an autopilot if you're going from Costa Rica to San Diego. You could 100% set an autopilot and make it 90% of the way there. But as soon as you're within 3 or 4 miles of shore, you start course correcting, you start slowing down because your momentum is going to carry you quite a ways. Docking a boat is real fucking hard, especially a big one. So you're more likely to have just hit a random beachhead where there were a bunch of people than you were to actually hit the dock you were going for.
Real quick, what do you think happened to the crew on this boat? Do you think that the T-Rex killed everyone, including the people in this tiny room in that tiny doorway, and then went back
with the hand on the? I have no, because like that's a hand on the steering wheel, so it would had to have bitten them. Like through the door without destroying anything. And then there's a hand on a button over here.
Yeah, there's like a leg on the ground.
Me,
like
that means that like a guy hit the button and this T-Rex was down in the hold and then like grabbed him and ate most of him, but fell down into the hold. And the arm somehow fell over here.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Very implausible.
There's like a million like theories on this. Like, was it pterodactyls because you see them flying later? Or was it raptors? Was it a baby Spinosaurus? There's so many, and like, you know what it is? It's bad writing. Like that's the answer.
Here's what you missed. Here's some circles and some arrows. Yeah. Oh, let me pick this up and push the button.
Oh my god. Also, the T-Rex couldn't break out of that?
Yeah, like as soon as the motors were engaged, it was on the deck and ready to go.
You know what's kind of been ruined for me with these movies? I now know how dinosaur arms really worked, and none of these movies get it right, and now I can't stop staring at all their arms, thinking that their wrists are broken. Like, their wrists are supposed to, like, face inwards. You know how kind of like a bird would, basically.
Yeah.
But in these movies, it's always like a person hunched over, and I can't not see it anymore. And it's like,
and now like Jeff Goldblum, all this shit, like crazy shit's happening, and Jeff Goldblum has enough time to say,
"No, you're John Hammond,"
to like mock this guy as a callback to a scene that was way at the beginning of the movie that everybody forgot about. Now you're John Hammond,
and that was his only reason for being here. He's like, "Oh, I have to tell the."
Oh, motherfucker!
What the fuck? What a great roar during this commentary that's going off without a hitch.
Yeah. Well, we really nailed it. Thanks a lot, Amazon. You really saved our ass. Fucking bastard. Yeah.
So, oh my god, everyone's. I love that guy that they were just carrying. Like, how many people got fucked up from this? Anyway, yeah, Malcolm would not be here. He'd probably like be going around telling people it's a bad idea, but I don't think he would physically want to come here.
No, yeah, he would be on CNN right now.
He would probably be calling the cops.
We're cutting to live footage of the T-Rex running through San Diego, and we have Ian Malcolm, famed mathematician and visitor of the original Jurassic Park. Ian Malcolm, what do we see? Can you describe just what we're seeing? Well, Carol, we're seeing a T-Rex rampaging through San Diego because, as you know, with my theories of chaos and mathematicians, there's no controllable method you can do for an animal such as this. So it's going to be trying to find food. It's going to be trying to find water.
Exactly.
We've got a paleontologist on the line.
That would be the most realistic thing that Malcolm would do. Apparently, that's like what he's doing in the new movie. They're doing like a hearing on whether they should give a shit about dinosaurs.
They should just burn this island to the ground.
And he's probably going to be like, yeah, this is a bad idea. We should leave him alone. Also, somehow this T-Rex made it into suburbia without getting shot a million times.
Yeah, I feel like the cops would be just like unloading on this piece of shit.
But then later you see the cops and they just fucking leave. Also, that pool might be chlorinated. I don't know if the T-Rex should be drinking it. I mean, maybe it's a pool with salt water. I know our pool here they put salt in it to like sterilize it, but
well, but even then, like that's bad for you.
You shouldn't
too.
drink that, but
yeah. So this was the scene that scared me as a kid, and I was like, "What if a T-Rex comes to our house tonight, Mom?" Oh, you just don't move, and you'll be fine.
I do appreciate that you get to see the T-Rex animatronic not in the rain in this movie.
Yeah,
because
that's fair.
You ever seen the behind the scenes? I mean, other than the first scene, the behind the scenes for the first Jurassic Park, they show like the animatronic because the rubber, the latex was getting so weighed down by the water that it just started jerking like crazy. And if you watch the first Jurassic Park, there's a few shots where you see the T-Rex just jerking a little bit. But that was the whole thing. Like Stan Winston, he like would always beg Steven Spielberg to not set it in the rain, and Spielberg would always be like, "Yeah, let's put it in the rain." And then he got excited for 3, thinking it was a new director, and then they put that whole animatronic underneath water.
Which animatronic did they put?
The Spinosaurus. Like, there's a whole shot where they're like in a fucking river with that thing.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that now.
And this whole family, like. This feels like a completely different movie. It feels like a comedy at this point. So do you think the T-Rex killed his family?
Yeah, I think it did kill that family. If it didn't, that kid now has like carte blanche to just go, yeah, remember that time that I said there was a dinosaur out my window and you didn't believe me? Well, guess what? I got an F because the teacher doesn't like me.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. So they mentioned the beginning of the movie, Ian Malcolm went around telling people what InGen did, and no one believes him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in San Diego, there's a InGen facility called Jurassic Park just on display for everyone to see. I feel like people would have been able to connect the dots a little bit and be like, hey, maybe that guy's not full of shit.
This is the there's some other movie where they tried to explain that
like
Ghostbusters.
Oh,
you know, in Ghostbusters 2, everybody's like, there aren't any fucking ghosts. What are you talking about? Like, a giant marshmallow man walked down 5th fucking Avenue. What are you talking about? There's no ghosts.
This is a hoax. There's a great scene in that movie where like the mayor is looking at all the ghosts come out in part 2. And a character goes, have you ever seen anything like this before? And every time I watch it, I want him to go, yeah, in Ghostbusters 1, we were all there for it. We all saw it. But I guess now, I don't get why people like Ghostbusters 2. Like, I know there's some fun stuff in it, kind of like this movie, but Ghostbusters 2 is...
I'll tell you why people like Ghostbusters 2 is because it's better than Ghostbusters Answer the Call, Women, Lady
even
Busters.
Before that movie came out, I didn't like it and people loved it.
It's fine. I got a Lego minifigure of Melissa McCarthy in that movie, and she's way too fucking skinny. And then they made an action figure of her, and it's like it's way too it's way too tall and way too skinny. Like that, the action figure should be about a half an inch shorter and 40 pounds heavier.
That scene is great.
Because I don't know if you know this, but Melissa McCarthy is a fat bitch. That's a huge bitch. As we say,
I love the fake movies in this rental store. Jack and the Beanstalk. Arnold Schwarzenegger is
Tsunami
King
Sunrise.
Lear,
yeah, that's almost as good as when they do Terminator in Last Action Hero, where they have Terminator with
Japanese
Sylvester Stallone.
Japanese.
Oh yeah, hey, there is some Japanese. And guys.
There's the writer of the movie, David Cope.
He's with the Japanese guys because he's a racist.
And he's going to get killed. So this is the rare case where a shitty movie gives you the honor of seeing the writer like die.
Just get murdered. Yeah. Hey, there's a Starbucks. I didn't know Starbucks existed that early.
Yeah, Starbucks was around
crazy,
for a while.
Right? There's this 69 GTO again.
Why does he have that car? That's like Spielberg was just like, oh, I like that car. Can we just have him drive that car?
I feel like this might be Spielberg's car.
Probably.
Cal, and that's the name of the gas station there.
No, we don't have those around here.
No, we don't have those around here either.
That's a T-Rex.
Chevron.
That T-Rex is actually in front of a green
for
screen.
Gas. Can you believe that shit?
Yeah.
$1.15 for unleaded.
That T-Rex was in front of a green screen and it was like blended perfectly. Yeah, like it looked like it was actually.
When's the last time you saw $1.15 gas? That's one of my favorite parts about watching old movies.
Yep, like Die Hard, the gas is like 80 cents.
$1.09.
Ugh.
The gas went down in the 10 seconds we were watching this film.
Wait, maybe it's like that bullshit thing that a lot of gas stations do, where it's like $2.99, but $2.80 if you pay with cash. I fucking hate that.
Oh yeah, it's so that because they save the credit card fee.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why they
Look
do
at
that. I love how all these cars come charging up the dinosaur and they're like, oh, you know what? Never mind. This is literally our only fucking job.
To be fair, though, that probably would scare the shit out of me.
Take the muzzle off the dinosaur, you dumb bitch.
God.
That's why it's not screaming at anybody.
Yeah.
Goes plowing through.
What if there was something heavy on the other side of that wall?
Yeah.
Oh my god. This part's kind of cool with the. Is the Rex still behind us? Like, why couldn't the whole
Does it
movie
step
be
on
this
this car?
exciting and fast paced?
I really hate classic cars getting destroyed in movies. Like, it makes me sick to my stomach. Because like classic cars like that, like that's a 68 GTO, 68 GTO,
Yeah.
I think. It's either 68 or 69. Anyway, you know, there's only so many of those in existence that were ever made, right? And then, you know, about a third of them were wrecked by teenagers, and then about a third of them were bought 10 years later and wrecked. And so we've only got like every year less and less of those cars are available on the market.
Yeah.
And so by destroying them for films, you know, it just makes my heart sink.
I mean, they probably made like a stunt car for it. That might not have been the.
No, they don't, because in California, we started to see a lot of classic cars get destroyed during Cash for Clunkers, because this is obviously way later than this movie.
Yeah.
But Cash for Clunkers, they were buying up older cars, the government was, and then giving you money for your regular car. And what they do with those movies was what they do with those cars is they either like junk them or sell them in movies. So like in the movie Hancock, Jason Bateman's driving a BMW 2002, which is a fairly rare-ish car, and they fucking destroy that car for a joke. And I was just like, I just wanted to. When I was watching that movie, I started to feel sick to my stomach. I was going to throw up.
Oh, I hated that movie because the little kid Michael Myers from the Rob Zombie movie was in it. And Hancock,
he was in Hancock.
Yeah, and Hancock throws him into like the atmosphere, but since it's like a PG-13 movie, the kid like comes back down okay. And I fucking hate that kid. I hate that goddamn.
There's a deleted scene for Hancock where like he's having sex with a lady and he's like, when I say I'm coming, like we're about to hit the top of the mountain, you got to jump off, and then. She doesn't do it, and he ends up like throwing her clear because when he comes, it like fires holes in his ceiling.
I think that's based off like a shitty Superman joke that always comes up, like, oh, you need a kryptonite condom. It's like, no, not really.
He's got to have a kryptonite razor to shave his beard.
No, not really.
Here's this guy gets his just desserts.
Yeah,
like he didn't fucking hear that T-Rex coming.
I know. Also, why is he? Doesn't he have like security? Like, what the fuck?
No. He's too.
If you look real close,
security.
when the T-Rex bites him and opens its mouth, you'll see it's missing the back row of its teeth. Wait, ready? Watch when it opens.
Oh, where his
Boom.
leg fits?
Oh yeah, all the teeth are missing.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
It just crippled him so that its dinosaur baby could have its first hunt.
Yeah, and the baby starts to look like a little too much like a velociraptor there.
Yep. They probably just used the same digital model and put a new skin on it. Like the same skeleton.
Yeah. Also, what the fuck? She's suddenly a marksman at the very end of the movie. Did they mention she was good at guns? Like,
yeah.
They mentioned,
And she makes a crack fucking shot too.
I mean, granted, the target's like huge, but
the doors are closing.
yeah.
And there's really no reason to tranquilize it because by the time she gets the shot into it, like the doors are nearly
I guess
closed.
the doors could be damaged because it like hit them earlier, but still. I like how they finally got a guy who was willing to shoot the dinosaur.
She's got to shoot him first. Yeah. She's a more crack shot than this LAPD or SDPD marksman with his M4.
That part's kind of cool.
Oh, good. This tiny amount of tranquilizer definitely made me feel a lot more calm, mellowed out. In the first Jurassic Park book, they tranquilize one of the T-Rexes, and it's like a gallon-sized jug that's fired out of a rocket launcher.
And I think that's how it...
And they hit the fucking thing twice before taking it down.
I think that's how it died. I think the adult T-Rex dies because it's like in the water or whatever, and it like falls asleep and drowns. I
don't think it drowns. I think someone knocks it out, and then later Dr. Grant runs upon it and he's like, oh, it's asleep because it's got this gallon-sized jug rocket launched into the side
forgot
of
if
its
it died
neck.
or whatnot. There's 2 T-Rexes in the first one. There's like a juvenile T-Rex.
And now the doors are completely fixed.
Yep. Yeah, they're totally fine.
And
now.
I 100% believe this is what CNN would be doing. Like we followed it with a helicopter the whole way, so we can
real quick
do live coverage because we have
Spielberg,
nothing better to do.
Steven Spielberg's reflection was in the TV. He was sitting next to
hey, here's the daughter again.
Jeff Goldblum and them. I don't know why he decided to do that. It's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, he had to unbutton the shirt a little bit because people like that from the first one. He doesn't do that at all in this.
No,
he's such a different character, and I guess maybe getting like bit by a T-Rex might change you a little bit. But it's not as fun.
Yeah, they should have just like fucking sank that ship and killed the T-Rex and then bombed the fuck out.
By the way, this scene no longer.
I'm Bernard Shaw for CNN.
This scene no longer makes sense with Hammond talking. Because he's like, oh, they require our absence. But then Jurassic World comes around. It's like, oh, he was planning to make another park the entire time? What a fucking liar.
Apparently.
The guy in Jurassic World is like, yeah,
this time,
John Hammond's dying wish was that I make this park. And it's like, oh, well, the end of the first movie, he thought it was a bad idea. And the end of the second movie, he's like, oh, leave the dinosaurs alone.
Yeah, at the end of the first movie, Dr. Grant says, like, I'm not going to endorse your park, and Hammond says, neither am I. Again, like, perfect closure to the film.
Maybe he meant as is. Maybe he meant he's going to change a few things. To be fair, the first park only really failed because their fucking IT guy was pissed.
Yeah, that's true. It really, they got sabotaged. Well, so now the pterodactyls are free, and sometime in the intervening years between 2 and 3, they get locked inside an avian.
Yeah. 2, 3, and World end with flying like reptiles leaving because they're not dinosaurs; they're flying prehistoric reptiles. Each one of those movies ends with like
magical instrumental music.
Directed by magical instrumental music.
That was the subtitle.
Oh my god! So
and now it's suggesting we watch Dinosaurs in the Outback.
Oh, I can't wait to. Oh my god, Australian dinosaurs! This must have been fucking awesome. Oh, there we go. Producer Gerald R. Mullen, Jerry Hardin,
Kennedy,
and Kathleen Kennedy. Oh, Kathleen Kennedy!
Fuck that lady.
Back when.
If I ever get the chance, I will kick her so hard in the vagina, my foot will go up into her stomach.
Yeah, I don't know why she got control of Lucasfilm.
Worthless human being. Probably because she sucked a lot of dick. She spent 20 years sucking lots of dick.
Maybe, because I'm trying to think. Like, I know she did a lot of stuff with Spielberg, but I guess maybe she did work on the Indiana Jones movies, but she didn't really do anything with...
It's got to be blowjobs.
Maybe.
That's the only explanation.
I mean, she didn't do anything with Star Wars until she got Lucasfilm. It's just...
Yeah, and then she just got given unbridled control. It's like, yeah, do whatever you want. Don't listen to anything I have to fucking say with my frog neck.
So yeah, there it is. The Lost World, Jurassic Park. A movie that has some fun stuff, but is mostly dull.
And a lot of lame stuff.
And a lot of lame stuff.
And what other movie are you going to get, like, suspenseful scenes where people are in mortal danger and also scenes where people use the parallel bars to kick a velociraptor out of vent and onto some spikes?
You know what? Jurassic Park might be the better movie, but I think the Carnosaur series ended up being a better series overall. Did you ever watch
the Carnosaur series?
Have you ever seen Carnosaur?
No.
Dude, Carnosaur 1 and 2 are free on YouTube. Carnosaur 1 came out a week before Jurassic Park. It stars Laura Dern's mother, and she gives birth to a dinosaur in it. I'm not making any of this up. It's a Roger Corman movie. And then Carnosaur 2 is legit just a ripoff of Aliens, just with dinosaurs.
This sounds terrible. This sounds like something I will definitely not be
Oh,
watching.
dude, it is terrible, but it's
Sorry.
also kind of awesome. They made 3 of them. They're pretty bad. But I think they're
Yeah.
at least consistent, whereas Jurassic Park is kind of all over the place.
It goes wild.
Anyway, that was a Lost World Jurassic Park commentary. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you bought
Yeah,
this.
thanks for having me, Tony. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
It was a lot of
Anytime. And check out some other commentaries I have. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.